Good morning, Griffins. Today we're going to keep going with solving one-step inequalities. Today we're going to be using multiplication and division. So here are a couple of example problems. It's going to be really similar to what we were doing with one-step equations. So the first one we're going to start off with, we have 3x is greater than negative 24. So we do the opposite. We're going to divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that gives us x. And this is going to be greater than negative 8. Now on the second one, we are going to divide both sides by negative 4. But because we are doing a negative number, this is where things are going to be a little bit different and where you really got to remember what you're doing. So negative 4 divided by negative 4 is going to give us positive 1, and that gives us x. And 20 divided by negative 4 is negative 5. Now, the only thing is, because we're dividing by a negative, we are going to need to switch the inequality. The less than is going to become a greater than. That's the only difference that we need to remember when we're solving an inequality and an equation. So, we're still going to do the opposites. If it's a multiplication, we're going to divide. If it's division, we're going to multiply. If you multiply or divide by a negative number, you need to switch the inequality, and this is the really big thing you need to remember. And then we simplify, sorry, this should say inequality, not equation. So then we're going to simplify the inequality. So we're going to do a few sample problems today. So the first one here, we are going to divide both sides by 7 because it's 7 times y. Now we're dividing both sides by a positive 7. So the inequality stays the same, and y will be greater than negative 3. On this next problem, because we're dividing by negative 5, we are going to multiply by negative 5. So we multiply both sides of the equation by negative 5. Because we're multiplying by a negative, this n will be less than negative, 75. Okay, because we multiplied both sides by negative 5, we switch the inequality. On this next one, we are dividing both sides of the inequality by negative 5. Because we divide by a negative, we are going to switch the inequality, and it will be x is greater than negative 7. Okay, so here's a practice problem for you to do. So what are we multiplying times both sides of the equation? We're going to multiply both sides times 3. So I have x and I have 33. We multiplied by a positive, so this will stay a greater than. On this next problem, what's your first step? We're going to divide both sides by negative 5. So I have x and I have negative 8. Because we divided by negative 5, we're going to switch the inequality. So it's going to become x is greater than or equal to negative 8. This is a practice problem for what we did the other day. So because it says minus, we're going to add 4 to both sides of the inequality. And we're adding or subtracting. You don't change the inequality, so this stays less than 13. Okay, we're back to multiplying or dividing. Because this is a division problem, we do the opposite. So we're going to multiply both sides of the equation by 4. So I have n and I have negative 12. Now I multiply both sides by a positive, so the inequality stays the same. Then our next problem, we have 2y is greater than 10. Because it's multiplication, we are going to divide both sides by 2. We multiplied by a positive, so we end up with y is greater than 5. Okay, so you are going to think about this question for just a minute. You have a homework assignment to work on. It's on quizzes. So this says, what 2 things do we need to be done to solve this inequality? I need you to pick both things. So on your question, remember there are 2 things you need to pick. So first of all, we are going to divide this by a negative. So I have positive x and I have positive 4. And because you divided by a negative, we are going to switch the inequality to negative 4. So thank you so much. we got a couple more days, and then it's Memorial Day, and then we have a 3-day weekend. So thank you so much for getting this done. Get your homework done too. It's Tuesday, so you also have Prodigy. So thanks, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon. Take care.